Hey guys, Brett Alegre-Wood here, author of the 3+1 Plan and chairman of YPC Group, where we help you to build a thriving property portfolio so you can live the lifestyle you've always dreamed of, but in such a way that you're not creating a second job or actually working yourself into an early grave. So what I wanted to do today was we've been running the webinars now for a while, and we've compiled hundreds of questions that you guys have been asking. So I want to take those, and what I've done is I've broken them down into a number of really key questions that most of you guys are repeatedly asking. And what I've done is I want to present them to you so you get that level of education. I've always been a massive supporter of free education. And so that's what I want to do for you guys today, is really give you, I guess, what most people out there are concerned about in the market now, about property investment, about strategies, about structures, about all sorts of things, the questions that you guys have been asking. So, it's not now me telling you what you should be thinking, it's you guys actually feeding back. And I love that about the social media, and I love that about webinars. So yeah, sit back, relax, and let's get started. So guys, today what I want to take you through was really what's the best model for ownership. Do you buy in a trust? Should you buy in your own name? Or should you buy in a company? Or maybe some other structure that you might not know about? And I think the interesting thing here is, obviously, always with this stuff, I'm going to say go speak to an accountant if it's something you really want to look into. And for most people, look, one of the things that I know is 99% of people buy in their own name, okay? And even myself, my own portfolio, I'm buying in my own name, okay? Now, it's interesting with that, because even the guys that go away and they go speak to an accountant, come back, and for the most part, they buy in their own name. There's the odd person that comes back and buys in a company or a trust, but what you find is generally they're buying for cash, they're not having to go through a mortgage. So that's a different level for most people, because most people are going to go through a mortgage. Now, a couple of things I want to do. One of the reasons that most people cite is they want to try and save tax, okay? They want to be able to claim back VAT, things like this. And for me, and I say this all the time, my thing with the whole tax is that if you're going to lead in with trying to save tax, you're missing the whole point of investment. The whole point of investment is about making income. So what I'd say to you is, if you're out there and you're thinking, well, I want to do this because I can see myself saving this much money in tax, actually what you should be saying is, how can I maximize my income, earn the income, then work out how to minimize the tax? By all means, speak to an accountant and see what they say, but for the most part, most people come back and say, I'll just buy in my own name. It's a lot easier, it's a lot simpler, I can get mortgages. Because the thing is, with a trust or a company, buying in a trust or company is, number one, lending is going to be extremely difficult. For the most part, what it means is you're still going to, if you're going to do it in a trust, they're still going to want to credit check you, they're still going to want to see your income, they're still going to want to do everything as if you're buying in your own name. Not only that, they'll also want you to give personal guarantees. And it's the same with the company for both those things, is they're going to look at you as a director, and wanting to give guarantees. So to some degree, it doesn't allow that separation to happen that may have been the benefit in buying in a company. Plus, your loan to values are lower, your interest rates are sometimes higher. So, there's a lot of those sort of things, okay, that you need to consider. So you've really got to look at what it is you're trying to do. Now, if you're going to build a substantial portfolio, and you're going to have hundreds and hundreds of properties, and you've already got the capital there sitting there, and you're going to be buying cash, and you're not really worried about mortgages, or you're happy with low loan to values, then perhaps it's something to consider. But really, it's about what's the intention, what are you trying to achieve by that? And that's what the accountant will tell you. They'll sit down with you and say, right, why do you want to do this? And for the most part, if people go, well, I want to save tax, it's like, look, do it in your own name, okay? Do it in your own name. It's easier, simpler. You don't have to set up different structures and pay for those structures, because remember, the trust and company, every year you've got to file returns, you've got to do all these sort of accountants bits and pieces for it. And because of that, that's going to cost more money. So whilst you might save some money in taxes and things like that, actually you might end up paying more just to run the structure, okay? Now, the final thing that I want to say was, offshore, because what some people will come, so say, oh look, I want to set it up offshore so that I don't have to pay tax, and and I can do that. Look, guys, I'll be totally honest with you. Offshore is expensive, number one, and offshore doesn't actually mean that you're going to be able to separate it totally from you. Because yes, you may be able to set it up totally from you, but when you try and use that income, when you bring that income on shore, and certainly if you're domiciled and resident here, there's not too many ways around it at this, anymore. A lot of the loopholes have closed up. Now, Yes, we do have people that do offshore structures. If you're in South Africa or Asia or the Middle East and you want to set up offshore and you're not living here and you want to invest here, fine. Then there's legal, totally legal and legitimate vehicles and ways to do it. But it's going to be expensive. So you've got to make sure that the investment is worth it and the return. Because after all, property investment is all about a return on investment, okay? And because it's about a return on investment, if you're going to do these structures, you've got to make sure that the return on investment is worthwhile in doing that. So guys, I'm sure you found that information really valuable. The first step really now is that you need to get a plan. You need to actually, work out exactly how you're going to put this in place. So what I encourage you to do is come in and sit down with us, talk to us, grab a coffee with us. And what we can do is we can actually start mapping out what your plan is. Guys, I'm looking forward to meeting you real soon at either one of our webinars or perhaps a seminar, or if you come to one of our offices around the world. Have a great day, and remember, live with passion.